everyone. Now it's time to live on me. Come on and take the journey into Hey, come on and take this journey into my new reality. Hi, my name is Katie Lowe, and welcome to Rhythm Flow Radio live stream right here on Facebook Live, YouTube, and Spreaker, streaming on most streaming devices like iHeart, Spotify, Apple, and more. Today is Friday. So today is that day, Friday at 5. We have a conversation with Brother Raymond. Hey, Brother Raymond, how are you?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm great, and you?
I'm fine.
Well, it's Friday at 5.
Well, let's get to it.
What's what's in your hat today? What are you pulling out of that hat?
Well, we're doing with the today we'll be talking about the Why Initiative.
Now, what is the Why Initiative?
The Why Initiative is an organization consists of returning citizens who wants to know why we've been incarcerated unjust, why we've been taxed, and why people do not understand the plight of what these people are trying to do in the court systems.
Okay.
Hold on, I got a caller. Hold on, already.
Oh, you got a caller? Okay. Come
Hello?
on with your caller.
Who? That wasn't nobody. I thought that was somebody. That wasn't nobody. So that's what the Why Initiative is about.
Okay. So is this now is that Why Initiative a special program
Yes,
for
it's a special. Go ahead.
go ahead. No, tell me.
It's a
It's a
special
special
program
program.
for returning citizens
Okay.
seeking equality and justice, just
Okay.
as Brother
So
Stand
what?
Together stands for.
Okay. Now, when was that? When did that program come into light? When was it
But
birthed?
the Why Initiative was brought together by my nephew Kevin Gray,
Okay.
and he birthed this baby because he wanted to let people know the Why Initiative, which he'll be calling us a little bit later on the show. I am trying to catch up on some paperwork that I have to get out because I got to get all these people's out. hmm Yeah. So
It's a White
that's what we'll
Initiative,
be talking
a
about.
federally funded program.
Yes. Then,
Okay.
okay. So let's see. I gotta fix this. Okay. So welcome to a conversation with Brother Raymond. I'm your host, Brother Raymond. And as always, before we do anything on the show, let us start in prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for waking us up in our right frame of mind, allowing us to live to see another day. Lord, we ask that you continue to guide us as we go through our daily lives. Lord, I ask you to say a special prayer for everyone who has lost someone near and dear to them. Lord, I ask that you comfort the hearts of the people who have lost someone. Lord, I ask that you continue to bless and look over our people who do not know the way. And Lord, I continue to ask you just to help us. In your mighty precious Son, Jesus' name, continue to guide us, love us, and nourish us. In your mighty magnificent Son, Jesus' name, amen. Now I got a caller.
You got a caller. Okay, caller.
Now this is my cousin Speedy.
Okay, where's Speedy calling us from?
He's calling from Stateville.
Oh, Stateville. Okay.
Yeah. Oh shit. Hey, what's going on, cousin? How you doing?
Good, man. I just tried to call you. It said the call probably didn't answer the phone. I'm like, damn.
Well, you live on the show. The radio show is live right now, so
Oh, is it?
yeah, they hear you.
Oh, okay.
So, ladies and gentlemen,
So what you want me to say, cuz?
hold on.
I am.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is my cousin Donald Watkins, and he has been incarcerated in Stateville for over 18 years. He's here to tell his story today. So we ask that you tune in and listen and pay attention, and you'll learn something today. Without further ado, I turn the mic over to Donald Watkins. Go ahead, cuz.
Hello, my name is Donald Watkins. I'm currently incarcerated in Stateville Correctional Center, located in Joliet, Illinois. My story is a unique story. 18 years ago, I was picked up by Chicago police, 5555 West Grand Avenue, beaten and tortured into trying to confess to a murder that I didn't commit. I was tortured and beat, but I never confessed, but they said I did. So they tried to use the confession against me, but they couldn't because it was never written, it was never videotaped, and it was never signed. It was one police that tortured me that lied to say that I did give him a verbal confession. I've had an interview with Lisa Lean from This Is Life when she was hosting I America for Miss Oprah Winfrey. I've also been interviewed by Northwestern University journalism students who've done a massive piece investigating my case. So if there's anybody out there that doubt my innocence, all they have to do is get a copy of my story and read it for themselves. All I'm asking for is for a lawyer or innocent project or something to that nature to help me prove my innocence. All the legwork has already been did. The Northwestern journalism students have already went out on the west side of Chicago and interviewed people concerning my case. I was at home, sleep with the flu at the time of the case. The one witness against me was a drug addict who was recently overdosed off the drugs.
Wow.
So please, at your earliest convenience, could you get a copy of my case through my cousin, Brother Ray, and you will see for yourself that I am an innocent man that was falsely accused and convicted of a murder that I know nothing about.
Wow. Wow.
Thank you for your time, your effort, and I hope somebody reaches out to me and help me prove my innocence.
So let me ask you this, cuz when they grabbed you for that case, under what pretense did they assume that you had committed this crime?
They said that the lady had said a guy named Spanky had did it. Then when they got me to the police station, they said, no, she made a mistake. She was saying Speedy had did it. I'm not the only Speedy in Chicago that came and arrested me based upon my nickname.
Right. So they got you under the assumption of a nickname. Nothing more concrete than a nickname. And that's
nothing more concrete than a nickname.
That's sad,
I was
man.
solely singled out on my nickname. And then when it came out in court, they had the nickname wrong. They was looking for a guy named Spanky, not Speedy. But since I already was charged, tortured, and beat for it, they just said, okay, change it from Spanky to Speedy.
Wow.
Then they told one of my witnesses where I would be sitting and what clothes I would have on in order to point me out. It was all in the article that I'm trying to present to the world to get to see.
Right, that they will see.
They didn't have any evidence against me. No blood, no DNA, no weapons, no bloody clothes. They claimed this guy was shot in the face with a shotgun at close range. When they arrested me, there was no blood on me, no shotgun residue, no bloody clothes, no shotgun, no DNA, no nothing.
So they got you on conspiracy theory.
They got me on the streets saying that we know one guy named Steve. And they came pick me up, ask me about the crime, torture me for 47 hours and 45 minutes. And when I wouldn't sign the confession, they didn't know what to do, so they said, well, just charge him anyway and say he confessed.
Wow. And
Chicago, Illinois has one of the corruptest police districts in the United States.
I was going to say in the world.
55 West Grand is a corrupt police station. It's not only me that was beaten and tortured. It's hundreds of us. But in my case, it's unique because I can prove it now. After Northwestern did this article concerning my innocence, now I can show the world that I didn't commit this crime. I've been incarcerated for 18 years for a crime that I could finally prove that I didn't commit. All I'm asking for is a fair shot in the judicial system for somebody to look into my case and be convinced that I'm innocent as well.
And that's what we're working on, and that's what we will be working on, and that's the Why Initiative. And so people was asking earlier about the Why Initiative, and I was explaining to them that the Why Initiative is the why, the who, what, when, where, and how. And that is what's going on pertaining to you guys' cases that's incarcerated now. So it's very imperative that, ladies and gentlemen, that you understand what's going on inside so that we can get justice for them on the outside and they can come home to their families, because injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere.
And I've lost everybody. I've lost my wife. I've lost my father. I've lost my grandmother. I lost 6 uncles. I've lost my cousin. I have 11 people in my family that's been passed away within the last 18 years.
Because of this false accusation.
All because of false accusations.
And so, on behalf of Brothers Stand Together, you already know we're fighting and we'll continue to fight. And now that we have everything that we need, we're going to fight even harder for you. Man, I hate that it's done to so many brothers and sisters inside of the penitentiary that a lot of people don't understand that everyone is not guilty of the crimes that they've been charged with. And so we're going to break it down.
I'm one of those people. I am truly innocent. All I ask the world is to look at my paperwork, look at the investigation Northwestern journalism students did, and you can see for yourself. I'm not asking you to take my word. I'm asking you to take your word.
And that's what we're going to do. We're going to present the case, and hopefully, ladies and gentlemen, you guys can see it. And not only that, we'll present it to lawyers and the powers that be. We're calling on state representatives. We're calling on the state's attorney, Kim Fox, to look at this case, review it, and come to their own conclusions. As Mr. Watkins said, he's not looking for no handout. He said, without a shadow of a doubt, if you look at the case, you will know beyond a shadow of a doubt that he's innocent. And this is what we want to bring to the table. And this is the evidence in which we're going to display to the state's attorney, as well as state representatives, as well as the powers that be, in order to inform them of they have an innocent man that they done had in jail for over 18 years, which they know not just him, but it's thousands of them in there that they already know is innocent. And it's a shame. And we're going to work due diligently in order to free not only my cousin, but the rest of the free brothers and sisters, the innocent brothers and sisters that's incarcerated.
I want to thank the listeners out there that took the time out of their day to even listen to my story. You know, am I detoured? No, I'm not. Am I bitter? No, I'm not. Am I heartbroken? No, I'm not. God has given me the faith to continue on this fight, because The fight is all I got left. I don't want to die in prison as an innocent man, and then after I'm dead and gone, then it come out that I was innocent.
Right.
What little life I have to live, I would like to live it as a free man. I have grandkids I have never been free with, and that's my dream in life, to hug my mother before she passed away, to be a free man with my grandkids. I'm not asking for anything that I feel as though I don't have coming. As an innocent man, I have to fight for my legal rights to show people that I am innocent. I've been screaming to the top of my voice for 18 years as an innocent man incarcerated. Now I hope my screams, my prayers will be finally answered by somebody looking into my situation and looking into my case and being convinced beyond a shadow of a reasonable doubt that I am an innocent man.
And we would do all we can, our due diligence as well, as to see that it is presented properly. And not only that, we'll take it a step further. We'll do interviews and we'll do live shows, and we'll let them know that this brother, Donald Watkins, is innocent and he can prove it. His case can be proven beyond a shadow of a doubt, and we have to free this brother. And like the chairman say, free them all. We want to free all innocent men and women that was incarcerated. We want you to let them go. Let our people go. And the government is so corrupt, and it's a shame that we as a people, we are guilty until we prove our innocence. Because we was innocent until proven guilty, then Brother Watkins would still be fighting this case outside instead of fighting it from the inside. So it's guilty until we prove our innocence, and that's how the corrupt system has been designed for us for so many years. And it's time for us to step up as a people and break the vicious cycle and make something happen. And if we want to be the change we need to see, then we got to step up and make it.
You're absolutely right about that.
My dream is to become a free man and advocate for other incarcerated individuals, such as myself, as innocent.
No doubt.
Prisons are full of innocent people, men and women, especially from the state of Illinois. I'm one of those innocent people that has been fighting to get out of prison for 18 years. Imagine you walk into the grocery store and the police pull you over and you don't see the streets for 18 years and still fight. I came in prison at 44. I'll be 62 years old in November of 2022. That's 18 hard years of being incarcerated for a crime that I didn't commit. My wife, the love of my life for 32 years, has passed on. She couldn't hold on no more because she couldn't hold on. She prayed, she cried, she stayed up night, she begged people, and she couldn't hold on. I lost the love of my life trying to prove my innocence.
Wow.
And the last thing that I want her to remember about me is that I loved her, and I'm going to prove my innocence before we're together again. I want to be able to go to a grave site and say, they finally let me out as an innocent man. I kept the fight going even though you couldn't. I love you, and one day we'll be together again.
Wow.
Thank you for listening to my story. And my cousin, if you need to get in contact with me any kind of way, my name is Donald Watkins, DonaldWatkins. I'm located in Joliet, Illinois, 60434, P.O. Box 112. My number is N13834. That's how you can get in contact with me personally, or you can get in contact with Brother Ray, and he'll get in contact with me. All I want in life is a chance to prove that I am an innocent man who's been wrongly convicted of a crime I didn't commit. I was tortured. I was beaten. I was starved.
Mm.
And what can I say? If God let me prevail through all that, He's got to let me prevail through this. He's got to.
Amen.
That's all I got left is my God.
That's it.
And He's letting me hold on because God has plans for me. I've learned in life of being incarcerated as an innocent man. God takes us into deep waters, not to drown us, but to cleanse us. And I've been cleansed. I've dedicated my life to trying to help others now. And that's what I want to continue to do as a free man. I want to become a free man. I want to lay here and come back into the prison system and preach to the youth that, man, what you're doing is not the way. Be a productive member of society. Do something righteous with your life. Be a good father. Be a good son. Be a good husband. Be a good boyfriend. Put God in your life. He'll teach you these things like I did. That's the only thing he's getting me through 18 years of living hell as being an innocent man. It's my Lord and Savior. He wakes me up at night. He puts me to bed at night, and he wakes me up the next morning saying, your day will come. Be patient. I know it's been a long haul. But just give me a little bit more time. Somebody gonna hear your story, and somebody gonna believe in your innocency, and somebody gonna get you out of there. That I promise you. And that's what I hold on to. My faith.
Yeah.
Faith, I want people to know that faith is what keeps you alive in prison. Faith stands for fully assured in times of helplessness. FAITH stands for fully assured in times of helplessness.
Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remember that in life. Always keep the faith of whatever you're trying to do. As an individual that's been locked up for 18 straight years as an innocent man, I've learned to put God and faith first. So I'm going to be all right. It might take me a little longer, and I got to keep on struggling for a while longer. But at the end, it's in my heart to know that I'm going to walk out of some prison somewhere as an innocent man. My name is Donald Watkins. Remember the name.
I need to ask him a question before he go.
Well, man, cuz I sympathize with you. You already know. Brothers standing together, we're working diligently hard to help free not only you, but so many others who have been wrongly convicted of a crime that they didn't commit. And also, we're just working to make sure that to change the system and the narrative of how they perceive us as Black and brown people. So we're working hard. We're going to continue to work hard.
You have 1 minute left.
And the young lady want to ask you a question. Go ahead.
I wanted to ask you, had you ever been incarcerated before they gave you these 18 years for this crime you did commit?
I've been incarcerated 4 times before.
Okay.
I paid my debt to society, and I believe this is why they target people that's been incarcerated, because they can't prove they're innocent. Is it a way that I can call back about 6:15, 6 o'clock, or somewhere in there, or I could just wait until some other time? Because I would like for you to ask me all the questions you need me to answer, where I can give you an honest answer on what you need to know.
And well, that's the next time you'll be able to call in, cuz?
I could call about another 40 minutes.
All right. So as you heard, ladies and gentlemen, that was Brother Donald Watkins from Stateville Correctional Facility. He's been gone 18 years, and he's innocent. He says he said he's innocent. And I know for sure that this brother did not commit the crime that they say he committed, and so he's fighting. BST is steady fighting for him. As not only him, we fight for all the wrongfully convicted brothers and sisters who has been incarcerated. So that's our movement. That's what we stand for. And as you can see, they can call my phone at any given time, and I'll answer because I understand their plight. Because I too was once behind those bars, and I was facing some drama too. And God changed my life, and He spared me. And so, if He spared me, I know He can spare anyone. And so, the movement is real, and we asking that everybody out there that's listening, under the sound of my voice, we need to get involved. And here's why. When we was talking earlier with Katie Lowe about the Why Initiative, because every person that can hear my voice has a family member that has been incarcerated or is incarcerated, and that they have labeled as an ex-con. And if they have labeled them as an ex-con, they have cut them out of society. And we all know that that is a lie. So we must all band and join together in order to change the narrative in which it is today. Because as you see, Brother Watkins there been gone 18 years. We have another brother been gone 19 years. We have another brother been gone 15 years. And we have another brother been gone 25 years. So they're saying that they are innocent. And if they're innocent, how many more people that is incarcerated for something that they didn't do? We want you guys to call in. We want to hear your questions and all of that, because we want to help change the narrative. Now, we're not going to dissolve it and we're not going to fix it, but we can definitely change it. And we're looking for you guys to comment on the show and let us know, because again, I know that somebody out there has a family member who has went through the same thing. And how would you feel if your loved one had been incarcerated for 18 years for something that he didn't do? So call in, send us requests, questions, and all that, and let's get right to it, because this is a heavy topic, and that's why we created the Why Initiative, and you'll hear that later about why the Why Initiative was created. Because in the words of Kevin Gray, they've been executed in the courtroom way before they get to the penitentiary. They've been executed in the courtroom with the pen, because the pen is mightier than the sword, and that's what they're doing. The judge has all this power in order to give you life, 20 to life, 15 to life, or 2 consecutive terms of life. However the case may be, we have to be more conscious on voting. And this is why voting is important, ladies and gentlemen, because we don't think it is, but it's very important when it comes to your local officials, your state officials, and these judges and these people that we put in office. They are there for our protection. But now we're seeing that they're not there for our protection, but they're actually there for our demise. So again, I'm going to ask you, be real careful. Do your homework on these judges. Find out what their backgrounds is and what they stand for before you vote or not vote. See, that's another thing, because if you don't vote, you help them get in. So learn their background and vote for the people that's going to do the best for our people as we trying to swear them in. Because if not, we're already doomed by the color of our skin. That's one. And then electing people who cares nothing about us, that's strike 2. And, society has dimmed us as 2/3 of a people. So that's strike. So we got to get better at this, and we got to do our homework. And let's not leave our loved ones who is incarcerated helpless, as we just said. A lot of inmates are state, what we call that? Oh, it just blew my mind. A lot of inmates, I'm going to say this, wards of the state. We call them wards of the state. That means they don't have no monies coming in. They don't have no visits. They can't get on no phones. And they basically don't have nobody to love them while they're in there going through whatever time it is. It may be long or it may be short. But nevertheless, let me tell you something. A phone call can change a day. A letter can change someone's, and if you send them some money, and a visit. Them the four things that help keep a brother thriving while they're incarcerated. Because the penal system is not for school. I think you can go and get a janitorial degree. That's about the highest. I don't know if it opened up, but when I was there, you couldn't get nothing but a janitor's degree when we was incarcerated. So it might have changed, it might have not, but
Wait a minute. You said you could get a what kind of degree?
just janitorial. What they call that? They call it something else. But
Sanitation?
it ain't nothing but a janitor, wherever they call it. They called it something. I forgot what they called it. But anyway, and back in the day, you can go and get almost like a PhD in school.
But I do hear. I mean, last week you were talking about your friend Alfonso, but
Yes,
he got it though after he got out, didn't
he was outside when he got
he? Yeah,
hit.
that's right.
He was
He was
outside.
outside.
Yeah, Lewis
'Cause
University.
he
But
had his master's.
yeah, he was going for his masters. He was actually
Oh,
going for his masters in
okay.
the time of his untimely demise. But we know scores and scores of people who were incarcerated back in the early 80s, early 90s, late 80s and 70s who have gone on to get their masters and their bachelors and in some cases even PhDs while they were incarcerated. And then what the system said was they coming out smarter than we are. So we have to stop that because they come out smarter, then they're ahead of the game. And it's designed for us to fail anyway. It's designed for us to stay under their crutch. So if that's the design that they have, then that's why they cut out the school system. That's why the counselors, when they come, we call them spin doctors. Because the counselor will come and he'll tell you, I got 5 other prisons. So you got 15 minutes, and I got to see him for 15 minutes, and how many other people you want to see, and then he leaves and he goes to another penitentiary. What did he do? Nothing. Who did he help? Nobody. But it's designed to be like that. So if you ain't rehabilitated, you're gonna go back to what you know. If I don't know a life of crime and ain't nobody help me, then I'm gonna go back to a life of crime. Because nobody showed me a different way. They ain't have mentors and that will guide you and stuff like that. They didn't have nobody to tell, because maybe I wouldn't have went to jail 6 times, right? Maybe I wouldn't have gave them people over 25 years of my life back and forth behind them bars, right? Because I didn't have that, then the system is designed for us to fail. And they talk about the electric chair. They talk about stop the violence. Well, only way you can stop the violence is you have to help on the preventative side. Like a lot of times, I did a lot of petty theft when I was getting high. So that was something that you can get some help for. So I should have been referred to a rehab facility, not a penitentiary. So we got to be careful with that. They're not sending you to a rehab facility. They're sending you straight to the penitentiary. Why? You can get that X on your back and you can be claimed as one of them. And that's why BST and the movement brothers, we changed the narrative and we use the term returning citizens becoming productive members of society, because an X is unknown and a convict is still doing time. And if I'm here on this radio show, I am neither, and I will not allow anyone to call me that. No matter where I go, no matter where I'm at, I will not allow people to call me the X word, because I am not that. And the X, when you say ex-con, it gives a negative feeling and a negative spirit to the brothers. And they say you can't go to school, which is a lie. You can't get a job, which is a lie. You can't get medical, which is a lie. And you can't get housing, which is a lie. So if you telling me I can't get all them things, then you telling me you just pushing me out to the streets. I got to fend for myself. And we survivors by nature. So we gonna survive. So if that's what we need to do in order to survive, guess what? We're gonna do what we need to do in order to survive. Is it right? No. But it's just the means in the words of Malcolm X, by any means necessary, we're gonna survive. And that's why we have recidivism and brothers returning at a high rate. Recidivism is at such a high rate because when you come home, everywhere you turn, you're being turned down. You can't get a job. Why? Because you got a background. You can't get a housing. Why? Because you got a background. Can't get medical. Why? Because you got a background. Come on, really? So what you telling me is I'm good enough to go and serve this time. Well, where the state gets almost $42,357 per year per man. But you could have used half of that and sent me to college. You could have used half of that and sent me to rehab and helped me get my life together. You could also send it to me to see a shrink. Since you say I'm crazy, if I'm so crazy, then why you didn't send me and give me some help? Why you didn't take some of that $42,000 and break that down? And I'm gonna get them some help with this. I'm gonna help get them with this, and help them with that, and then when I come back out, I could be a productive member of society. And if nothing else, I would know what the causes and conditions on which I keep recidivating and going back to jail. So that's a lot. I know it's a lot I just spilled off, but ladies and gentlemen, when you have been incarcerated as much as I've been incarcerated, you see a whole lot. For instance, young man, never forget it, moved in Danville. Never been to jail before in his life. He kept saying he couldn't take it. Everybody laughing because you there. So it ain't going to change, right? But we're not understanding that everybody is not built for the penitentiary, just like everybody ain't built for school. So this young man, when the doors rolled, he jumped off the gallery and killed himself because he couldn't take it. I've seen scores of brothers hanging themselves or going to the psych ward, going crazy. So the mental health issue is a very prevalent issue when incarcerated and when dealing with Black and brown people, period, because we live in poverty-stricken conditions. You know, no, our streets is flooded and dirty and nasty. And yes, some of that is to our own fault. But on real talk, they clean up everybody else's streets, but they don't clean up ours. Just like when it snows, they go down the main streets, but they don't come on our streets. So we got to dig ourselves out. You know, just like they doing all this shooting. They saying, well, they shoot too much. Well, hell, we paid y'all to serve and protect us. So if you got to sit on, we don't want you to come and sit on the block like they doing now. They sitting on the block in their cars and Lil Willie and them over there shooting, having shootouts, and they ain't getting out their car. They'll just call, and when they reinforcements come, then they get out the car. Now they want to be tough. But all the time, somebody has just lost their life. Or all the time, somebody has been shot. Or all the time, somebody has been robbed. See, these are things we have to pay attention to, and we have to address these things because all of that ties up with incarceration. So I just want you guys to know that.
Wow. So, Raymond, I don't know why I thought that the prison system was there to rehabilitate.
No, that's what they tell you. They'll tell you that we're going to rehabilitate you, be a rehabilitated man. What's rehabilitated? You have me working landscaping for 35 cents an hour. It's slavery. You involuntarily enslave yourself when you get incarcerated because you've reduced the crumbles. You've reduced to nothing. Some people make 25 cents, some make 35 cents, some may make $1 and stuff like that. But in reality, it's less than minimum wage, and it's modern day slavery. That's what it is. You don't even have enough books in jail no more. You don't even have. They have recovery. They have some places that have recovery, but that's it.
So, what about if you have somebody that's incarcerated? And is there any way that they help them get their GED?
In some cases, you can go to school. I was going to school to get my GED, and I had 4 years and never got it. Just to tell you, that's how irregularly they would show up for classes. So you might go to class for 2 months in a row, and then you might not go back to class for another 3 months. And they'll say, well, it's a shortage. But if you got 1,800 people in this facility, and it's 42,300 some odd dollars per man, that ain't enough to pay for them. They ain't enough to pay for the counselors and the teachers to be there on a regular basis. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of injustice that's going on, not just with us being incarcerated, but the injustice of getting us help. Because a lot of men don't go to jail just to go to jail. They go to jail because of whatever situation and circumstances. But once they get there, they want to better themselves. And if you don't have nothing to better yourself with, then how you gonna better yourself? Now you got to come out. It's scores of brothers I know who had to come out the penitentiary and go back to school. And then they got their bachelors and their masters and their PhD and all that. And still, with all of that, like in the words of one of my mentors, Benny Lee would say, when do my rights begin and when do my wrongs end and my rights begin? And this is what we've been fighting for the last 15, 20 years. Because this injustice is real. It's not a joke. You know? So we got another one of my one of the brothers we work with.
Calling in.
Yeah.
Hey.
This is Gilbert Harris. You had met him, I think, last week. Hey, Wendy. Hey. Oh, okay. This Speedy called it back.
Okay.
Okay.
You're here.
Well, go ahead. You got some questions for Mr. Watkins? Anybody got any questions out there for Mr. Watkins? It'll appear on the screen and I can ask him. Go ahead, Katie Lowe.
Well, is this young man that just left? Okay. So my thing is, even though
I'm finna put you on speaker. I ain't finna do that. You gonna hear this yourself. Go ahead.
Okay. Even though he had a record in the past and he was charged with this crime, there was no evidence, no DNA or anything to connect him with the crime, and they gave him how many years?
He's fighting. He's been gone 18 years.
But how many years did they give him?
Oh, he said they gave him 66 years.
No, 56.
Oh, 56. 56.
Well, I mean, 56, that's almost like 60.
Right.
They gave him 66 years for this crime with no DNA evidence.
Nothing.
Well, no.
Yes. Some drug addict came to court that they made say that it was me. And then they came and her daughter came with her and they made her say, yeah, that's the man right there. Then my lawyers cross-examined it and said, how you know? And the little girl said, because that man right there made me say it. It's all in it's all in my transcript and it's all in my article that they made the little girl say that it was me. She had an open court in front of the judge and told the jury, the judge, everybody that they made me say it was him. That's why it took the jury so long to find me guilty because they didn't want to find me guilty. My judge pressured them into finding me guilty. Judge James Schreier pressured my jury into finding me guilty.
And that's what we were just talking about before you call about these crooked judges and how we got to be careful on who we elect on putting on the benches. So that's
the judges is up with the system. The system is this. It's the police. They get you in police stations. They beat you until you confess. Once you confess, that's all they need. They don't need nothing else against you. You confess. You get in court and say, I was beaten and tortured, Your Honor. They say, well, it's your word against the Declaration of Chicago police. And we're going to go with the police in this aspect because you defended to say anything.
Yeah.
If you're poor, you black, and you're uneducated, you part of the system already, and you don't know it. You're still free. But anytime they need to fill beds in a prison, they go get low-income, uneducated individuals, and they fill those beds. How can you fight your case with no money? You come from Cabrini Green housing projects like I did. How can you give a lawyer $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $12,000 to represent you? And if you can't, they give you a lawyer that's in bed with the judge and the state's attorney. They go through the motions, but at the end of the day, you find yourself on death row. You find yourself incarcerated with 100 years or a time like mine the rest of your life for a crime that you didn't commit. What? And then it comes out years later. Oh, this man done 23 years in prison, but we let him go. This man done 18 years in prison, but we let him go. But people in society don't realize us people that's incarcerated for a crime we didn't commit. We human beings. We lost people in our family. I've lost 11 family members. People that I could never get back. My father, my wife. I've got grandkids on the street I've never been a free man with. Ever. They could never give me those years back in my life. If they let me go tomorrow, all they would say was, oh, well, Mr. Watkins, we're sorry. We made a mistake. You done 18 years in prison, but we know you didn't do the crime, but that's how life goes. You got caught up in the system. That's how we got coming. We have to fight for our freedom, like Brother Ray said. We guilty trying to prove our innocence. We don't have the luxury of being innocent to prove our guilt. The deck is stacked against us from day one in the criminal court system. And I'm living proof of that. I'm a guy that's been gone for so long till I don't even know what Facebook is. I don't know what FaceTime is.
Twitter, all that, right.
You know, we don't have modern technology in the prison that I'm at. So we're behind time. And that's time that I can never get back in my life. What little life I got left, I want to live it as a free man. I don't want to die in prison for a crime I didn't commit. That's my fear. That's my fear. Dying in prison for a crime that I didn't commit.
And that's many of the innocent brothers and sisters that's in there. That's the fear. That's the thing. You know, they don't want to die inside of prison for a crime that they didn't commit. And
of course.
And that's why we're fighting so hard. And we're asking all of you out there that's listening under the sound of my voice, let's get involved. Let's change the narrative of the system, this corrupt system in which our people are being subjected to. Because as you just heard Brother Watkins say, he's been gone 18 years. He ain't seen some of his grandchildren yet. He don't know nothing about no Facebook, Twitter, MySpace. He don't know nothing about none of that. But at the end of the day, that's only because he was proven guilty until he proved his innocence. And that's why we don't trust the system. That's why people run from the police. That's why people don't trust the lawyers and the state's attorney. That's why. Because they don't feel like they'll get a fair shake. And this brother has been dealt a cruel hand. And now they're going to say, like he said, well, we're sorry. You know, we're sorry. Your son either. Who is your son? Tell us who your son is. And we'll you can live on with your life. No, what I'm asking and what I'm suggesting is that Brother Watkins and so many others sue the state of Illinois, the state's attorney, the city of Chicago for falsely imprisoning them for the time that they have been gone. And it's been stacked up, and everybody knows that it's so many people have come home under the Innocent Project, and now the state got to pay, and that's why the state always talk about they ain't got no money. But if y'all stop being so damn crooked, maybe y'all will have some money and let them do the right thing for the right reason. Because at the end of the day, these brothers should be subjected to this treason and being in jail, and they don't have no way out. They don't have no defense because the public defenders is in bed, like he said, with the state's attorney and the judge, which they all probably went to the same school. And so it's crazy, man. The system is truly rigged. And like, you know, with Kevin Gray, Gerald Harris, so many other brothers in there that just it's just a shame, and it's a multitude. But at this time, I just want to continue to let you know a conversation with Brother Raymond is sponsored by Myrtle R. Jackson, Excel. Uh, what is it?
Excel
Excel Independence. Yes, this is an organization that helps work with the young men and women, help them get back in college and things of that nature, help them find housing. And this is an amazing sister, and y'all will meet her coming soon. She will be on the show, and y'all will find out she is a wealth of knowledge, and she's a blessing from God. And so she's working on cases with us right now. So I see a Facebook user say, "My son either." What is your son's name? Would you please share your son's name so we can know what you're talking about?
Can I say it, Brother Ray?
Go ahead, brother. Sure. The floor is yours.
I sympathize with the George Floyd of the world.
Uh-huh.
I sympathize with the Trayvon Martin, the Breonna Taylor, and brothers and sisters that was wrongfully gunned down for no reason for the color of their skin. I sympathize with the incarcerated individuals that was took off the streets like myself and put in jail cages to rot and die for crimes that they didn't commit.
Right.
Imagine yourself being incarcerated for 18 straight years for a crime you have no knowledge of.
Exactly.
All those brothers and sisters that were falsely accused before me, they can never get that time back.
No, they cannot.
I can never get my father back. I can never get my wife back. I can never get the people that died and went on incarcerated. Money can buy everything in the world, but it can't bring a life back.
No, it cannot.
It can't erase the years that you gave to the system for being incarcerated.
No, it
All
cannot.
the years that I've laid here and been in prison, I wouldn't want no money if I could bring my loved ones back. This is not about money. This is about justice.
Yes.
For people like me that's been incarcerated for so many years for crimes that they have no knowledge of. This is what this is about. These people that's trying to help me get out of here, Miss Myrtle, Brother Ray, and their organization. These are the type of organizations that we need.
Exactly.
We need these people in our corner because who else are going to fight for us but us?
Yeah.
And my prime example is this.
Your glasses.
I would love to get out of prison to continue on the struggle and fight with this organization now that's trying to help me get out. Because who can tell the story better than an incarcerated individual such as myself?
Exactly.
I would like to share my story with the whole world. Any college, any grammar school, any OD home, any county jail, any prison in the United States to let brothers know, man, I was once an incarcerated brother too, falsely accused. God got me out, and the organization that I represent now got me out. Those are the people that I thank God for bringing into my life and helping me get my life back. Now, I would like to lay here and be one of those people that advocate for people being innocent as well. I found the calling in life, and that's to try to get people out of prison that's been falsely accused, such as myself. Because there's nothing in the world worse than being in prison for a crime that you didn't commit. Nothing. There's nothing on earth worse than being in prison for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
For a crime that you didn't commit.
I'm with you, brother. But like again, you already know we on the battlefield. We got our boots on the ground. We're calling on everybody out there to join the movement. It's a movement, Mothers of Mass Incarceration, which is led by Miss Wendy Thomas. Y'all can follow her on Facebook. She's been doing a plethora of work because her son is Kevin Gray, that she's been fighting for the last 15 years to get him home. So y'all join it because it's somebody in your family that's been incarcerated, and whether you like it or not, whether you care to admit it, and this injustice is continuous going on. This is a vicious cycle. This ain't gonna stop. Now they going at our youth. They going at our youth now because once they incarcerate our youth, then they say that's the future.
And they trying to stop us from voting.
Well, that's vote too.
All these voter suppression laws in Texas and Florida and in Georgia and so many other states.
Yeah.
Imagine 20,000 people voting in one county, and then they say, well, we don't like the voting. We don't like the count of this. So we're going to throw all these votes out and make them non-void. That's how the prison system is.
Yes, it is.
They only let 1 out of every 1,000 people go. 1. And those are the people that can afford to get a good to pay for some representation.
Right.
If you don't have no money, you're not going nowhere. You're going to jail. A public defender, PD stands for penitentiary deliverer.
And that's it. That's what we called them. Show what we called them.
Penitentiary what?
Deliverers.
Penitentiary.
Oh, okay.
Public defender. It's called penitentiary deliverer. That's
Right.
what PD stands for.
Right.
They get it in court and say, well, here's your public defender, Mr. Watkins. Or here's your real representation, Mr. Watkins. But all those guys that was in Cook County Jail with me in Illinois, you know where they are at now? Right here in prison with me.
Exactly. Yes.
Nobody beats their case. Nobody. Whether you're innocent or not. It's not about innocent and guilt in Illinois. It's about the wheels of justice keep turning to keep incarcerated individuals incarcerated so they can get federal grant money from the federal government.
Yep.
Illinois has the highest wrongful conviction rating in the world. The world. There's no place in the world that has more wrongful conviction than the state of Illinois.
Exactly.
Because we have corrupt people that runs our government. Maybe not now, but at the time I was incarcerated, it was.
Well, it's still going on, and as in some cases, and the wheels of the unrighteous wheels of justice, which is no justice. The unrighteous wheel is still turning.
Prison life is the hardest life you can live. Prison life.
Yeah.
Imagine being locked in a cage for 18 years straight. A cage. That's what I live in. I live in a cage.
And one of the brothers.
18 years.
And one of the brothers called it a coffin.
And the only way out was a coffin. Then they wonder why mental health is so rapid. Because if you put somebody in a cage for years after years after years after years, it's only 2 things gonna happen. Either they gonna come out a better person, such as myself, or they gonna go criminally insane, such as so many thousands of other young brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
They in a cage. You don't even keep an animal in a cage for a long time. You have to let the animal out. And I've been in a cage for 18 years straight.
Yeah.
But I've learned, educate yourself. Read. Take your mind places it's never been. Pray to God. Do good things in prison. Show these people that you've rehabilitated. Stay out of trouble. Those are all the things that I have mastered. And I'm one person that I can speak for that I self-taught myself. I rehabilitated myself. It has to start from within you. A lot of things in life go on around you. But what's most important about life is what goes on inside of you. That's where it starts from. A person that's on drugs. You'll never get off drugs if you're not ready to get off drugs. It has to start with you. It has to start with God. You have to have something in your life that's bigger than you.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I was a non-believer when I first talked to Kate.
You have 1 minute
But
left.
over the years, I began to believe and pray. And I know at the end of the road, good things are going to happen for me. They
Yes,
have
man.
to.
Yes, yes. Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to try to call back if I can. It all depends on how long you guys are going to be there.
Now, I think the show will be over in a minute.
Okay, well, it was nice to do the interview. I hope, we get good ratings. All I did was told the truth about everything. And I wish everybody a happy new year and live a healthy life if you can. And you young brothers and sisters, please stay out of trouble.
Yes.
It's not the way.
Yes.
Go to school, get you an education, and get you a good job and raise a family. Put them guns down, put them drugs down, and do the right thing. Go to church.
Amen.
From an incarcerated individual.
Secure us.
We love you. As you just heard again from Brother Watkins, and he helped me brought something back to me as well. We're starting a movement. BST is starting a corresponding movement where we will be writing selected incarcerated brothers every month, and every other month we plan to give them a $25 stipend in order to help them along the way with their times, because I know that how hard times is. I know how corrupt the system is. And Sister Wendy said, I told my son, the system is designed to break you, but they can't break your hopes and dreams. Amen. You're sure right about that. And so we asking that you get involved. Get involved. Make a donation. You know what I'm saying? If not a donation, guess what? You can write a letter. Write a letter to somebody. Let them know how much because my motto is this. The people don't know how much you know. They want to know how much you care. That's what they want. They want to know how much you care. Not how much you know, and not how sharp you dress, and what car you driving, and what girl. No, that is irrelevant to somebody who's behind bars facing life or facing 50 or 60 years to life. So let's get involved. And that's one of the things we can do. We can write a letter, and we can make a donation. However you want to do. The choice is up to you, but let's get involved, because if you don't get involved, guess what? Nothing gets solved. Because it's so many of us fighting on the front line, but your help and your support would be greatly appreciated, because guess what? Every one of us is better than any one of us. And we all need to come together if we're going to change the narrative of this corrupted penal system, which we all know is corrupt. And that's why brothers stand together on the side of our logo. You say for justice and equality.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it stands for, and that's what we're doing, and that's what's happening right now. We got another call.
When the young man was talking
Hello?
about, let me say this right quick. When the young man was talking about being incarcerated for a crime that he didn't do,
a hot minute. Yeah.
There was an article that came out a few days ago, 5 days ago, about a 74-year-old woman who spent 27 years in prison for a crime that she did not commit.
Right.
And one of the projects, you would talk about Project Innocence, helped to clear her name. Her boyfriend, who went to prison with her back in the 80s.
The Innocent Project, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Her boyfriend, who went to prison with her back in the 80s, 87, he died before his name could be cleared.
Yes, a couple of friends I know never made it back out.
Yeah, so this is really terrible.
So what you got to say? Got something to say, Wendy? You want to add what?
We wanted to know why, of course, we want to know why do Mammy is Mothers Against Mass Incarceration.
Right. Okay.
So what we're trying to do is, like my son was saying, bridge the gap. So we're trying to put together some stuff. You remember Scared Straight?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna call it something else because I don't want to do that. And we're trying to, got some people working with us to try to get we can take some of these teenagers down to a penitentiary or something where they can talk to some of these inmates, can talk to them and tell them this is not what you want.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great.
So we're trying to put that together. And I want to make another point. Think about this. Now, I can't even think of the man's name because I just can't stand him that much. But the man that's going to get out for shooting Laquan McDonald.
Yeah. Shit.
Anyway, he don't even deserve that much.
Right.
Anyway, do you know they better get some stuff together, or they better start listening and either charge him with some civil rights something or something, because if they let that man out, they got that man 6 years.
Yeah, Van Dyke.
Right, for murder.
Yeah.
They killed Laquan McDonald.
My son got 77 for robbery.
Right. And that's only because of the color of the skin, too.
Hello, but we're talking about not the justice system. We're talking about the just us system.
Oh, that's what it is, just us.
Right. So, I'm telling you, they better try to do something, especially here in Chicago, because if they don't, what's going to happen? They're going to have another thing like they had when George Floyd got killed.
They're going to tap the city. There's going to be another riot.
And what? That's what they're going to do.
And to the point of that is, like, I know, because I was one of the activists when it was revealed, when they killed Laquan McDonald. And so to see that he only got that smack on the wrist and that now he's coming home, I'm feeling some kind of way. But I do know, like you said, we need to educate ourselves and tackle him from another standpoint, a civic, and it's just so sad, but this is the reality, and this is why everybody must get involved. It's imperative that we get involved, because if we don't get involved, nothing will get solved, and so they got the boots on the ground. We got a few crews out there. We got people that's willing to step up, and we got people that's not so sure. But either way it goes, if we don't get involved, we all lose. Not some of us, but we all lose. And so it might not be your family today, but it might be your family tomorrow, and you'll be on Conversation with Brother Raymond talking about the injustice of your son or your daughter or your husband or your fiance sitting there with another. Who knows what the case may be? But we're saying don't wait until that happens. Get involved now. So if it does happen, we can fully support you, because I just don't support people who jump on the bandwagon. I just don't support that, because they're going to call my phone, Brother Raymond, such and such happening, and we won't judge it. Now you want to fight the power and all that. But before, when we were telling you guys to get involved, you didn't want to hear it because you said it ain't happened to you. But I'm telling you, it ain't happened to you yet.
Yeah.
That's what they said in the program. It's just a yet. It didn't happen to you yet. So get involved before, and I hope it never happens. But, the reality of it's happening to somebody in your family is a given. So
somebody in their family is a given already.
So
we all have somebody that's incarcerated.
Right, but I'm just saying, so for those of you who may have been or think you're squeaky clean or whatever, get involved. Because if you don't, it's going to be a shame when it show up at your doorstep. And then you're going to want brothers to roll out their beds and hit the ground running and all this. And that ain't just how it works. We don't work like that. I've been working with these families for over 7 to 8 years trying to help free their children and their loved ones. And for you to come out of nowhere thinking that some supposed to have, that's not fair. So get involved. Because if you don't get involved, we can't help you. I'm sorry. But we love you. And ain't nothing you can do about it.
Right. I want to say this, please.
Go ahead.
And as Raymond call you, Katie Low. I just want to commend Raymond and BST, Brothers Standing Together, especially Raymond, because we met at Malcolm X College. It had to be about 8 years ago, Raymond.
Yep.
9 years ago. And I stopped and I was talking to him because I was trying to figure out a way. I just needed some help trying to get my son up out of this jam. And Raymond has been riding with me all since then. Ever since then. And you notice that my son calls him uncle and he calls him nephew. So now we are family. We are officially family.
Yes.
We are. And I just want to thank you. I really want to thank you. On this platform, I want to thank you to let other people know what you bring to the table, baby. And I have to let them know. I really do. And other actresses as well. But with my experience, it's been you. You've been right there. I mean, Katie Lowe, this man knows me and my son so well. When we fall out, he's the mediator.
All right. Well, listen. Since you came in on a late note.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, listen to me though. Next Friday, 5:00. Same place. Go to a page called A Conversation with
She's been sharing it. She's the one been sharing it, Katie Lowe.
Well, we want to invite you, but we want you to come into this screen and talk with us.
Yeah, she got to come back. She got to come back.
I can't Friday because we're laying my sister to rest.
And our condolences for that too. But we're setting that up so that she'll come back on the show because if you remember, Katie, she was one of the first ones on the show.
Okay, but listen, but she's welcome back anytime.
Oh, anytime. She know that. She family.
Yeah, anytime that you got something that will help somebody, you need to come and share it.
And she's the head of Mothers of Mass Incarceration.
Okay.
Mothers Against Mass Incarceration. That's her. So yeah, we on the ball. Like I say, it's people getting involved, but we want more people to get involved because it's hard. And it's hard on her. I commend her, and I just do what God told me. You know what I'm saying? I follow my heart, and and now we're seeing some justice, and we got one more hurdle to go, and I'm claiming that Kevin will be home real soon. In
We've
Jesus'
been claiming
name.
that for a minute. Oh, he is coming home.
In Jesus' name, because the fight is not over. We ain't giving up the fight. And see, that's what we trying to tell people. You got to fight. You can't just be talking, call Katie Lowe and say, Katie Lowe, we want you to do. No, that ain't Katie Lowe's job. That ain't Brother Raymond's job. We can help you, but that's not our job. And people get it twisted when I guess I don't respond when they want me to or do what they think I should do. And it's okay. I love them anyway because they don't understand. I understand that they don't understand. And see, the level that God has put me to, I cannot stoop to their level because I'm on a higher plateau. So I got to keep pushing forward because it's thousands and hundreds of thousands of people that's counting on me. But a few that's doubting me and hating on me, that's them. But it's a lot of people that's counting on me. Them young brothers in Cook County Jail, let me tell you about this before we go. When we went in there with the state rep, LaShawn Ford, I got to give him his props. I called him the people's champ. And this is why. Because when stuff like this is near and dear, he calls the brothers to come out to educate the other young brothers, right? And so these young brothers are so in tune with what we had to say. We're hoping that we can start a system in the Cook County Jail where they'll be able to call us and we'll be able to have them on the show. And, because I want people to understand that that's because they made it. We tell them this because you made a mistake. That's not the end of your life. And we want you to understand that you have some moral support. But we also want you to understand that you have to make an executive decision about your life.
Thank you. That's the main thing. Right?
If you want to go out there and do what you want to do, that's fine. But if you want to change your life, we're here to help you. And that's with anybody. It don't matter how many walks of life. That's why I believe God took me through all that stuff. Addiction, homelessness, incarceration, to let me to share my testimony and show them that he is a God and there is a God and he overcomes, and I'm an overcomer. And like I tell people all the time, if you ain't never seen a miracle, you're looking at one. You know, if you can't even see my face is messed up. I was hit right here with a bottle, and my face was open, wide open. I had 100 stitches inside, and they had to close it and give me 75 on the outside. But you can see little fragments of it over here, right here. But that's how God works with it. I'm just saying, man. And we just want people to get involved. This movement is real. And it's people, it's mothers that's suffering, like this woman here, Miss Thomas. She is suffering. And she's been suffering for a long time because she's want her son home. And she's fighting, and she see the injustice that her son is up against. We've been in the courtrooms. We've been all over the place together.
I saw the injustice unfolding in the courtroom, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Right.
I really couldn't. You know, I want to say this too. You brought up LaShawn Ford, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm calling out LaShawn Ford. I'm calling out LaShawn Ford because he was supposed to help us do something about a year ago, and he never stepped up. So I'm calling him out, and I hope he's listening or he will listen.
Okay.
Because I'm calling him out. He's a state rep. This what we're going through is ridiculous. And we need somebody like him, while you giving him his kudos, let him get some real kudos. My son has been gone 15 years. That man has gone 18, 19 years. Come on, really?
Yes. And
really?
Yeah.
And you talking about these, and I'm sorry, let me be transparent here.
Thank you.
I love all our black brothers. Really. I love our black men and boys because they're going to become men, but they need some guidance. And them boys that's in that county, you're right, they got to make the executive decision to change their life. Now, here's the other thing. Let me tell you a little story, and I know we going over Miss Katie Lowe.
Go ahead.
But my son told me a story. He said, Mom, it was a young guy, he said he was in the shower. It was a young guy, he was in there, just talking. Now, this is the penitentiary. I'm getting out, I think he had done like 3 years. I'm going to go home and I'm going to get me a gun. I don't know what they call them now, but that's what he's talking about. Going to get me a gun. My son's like, what are you talking about? You better try to get a job. Because obviously what you out there doing, it ain't working. So you need to try to get a job. You know, so those young boys that's in the county, them the ones that's out here killing these ladies and kids.
Well, it's some of them, not all of them, but it's some of them out there.
Most of them.
Yeah, some I'm doing some crimes, and so our thing is we all know in which the crime that's being committed, and we also know that it's all by design. When they took the powers out the mothers and the school systems and the justice hands, they knew that our children would run rapid because they can't tell a butthole from a hole in the ground. So how are they going to guide themselves? They knew this. And they set it up and they say, okay, now when it gets out of hand, what we're going to do is we're going to fill up these penitentiaries for you. Remember the penitentiary that was closed? This is what they said to their counterparts.
Yep.
We're going to fill your penitentiary up. So now the same young men and the same youth, and this is what I'm telling the youth, be careful thinking that you have your rights. You don't have no rights. They know that by you not being able to be disciplined, you're going to go stop raving mad, you're going to commit some crimes, and then they're going to throw you away. They're going to lock you up and throw away the key, and they're going to make millions and millions of dollars off you. Like I just told y'all in the show, they make $42,000 some odd dollars off us, and if you got 1,800 people in one facility, look at how much money that is. And you talking about...
It'd be over 2,000.
Well, I'm just saying, even with that, so that's the whole thing I'm saying. I'm getting at because I want them to understand the severity of this because this is not a game. See, and like I was telling them with life, you play that video game, yeah, but you can't hit the cutoff switch and come back to life. When you dead, you dead. And now they even got a saying on the street, man, he woke up dead. Huh? That's what they say.
Yeah.
And this is how insane this has gotten out on these streets, and so it's imperative that we educate them, and the parents got to get involved too. You can't be scared of your children. You just can't.
Well,
you know,
I've never been scared of mine, and I have 3 sons.
And it's crazy how they dictate. I know you might not be the breadwinner, but you still you're the head over everything.
Yeah.
And you should be respected no matter what's going on.
But see, listen, and that's what, and I keep saying things that my son said, but my son has truly, like you said, you had to go through what you went through to get where you are.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
My son will tell you in a minute. He said, I'm not saying I should have this time like this. He said, but God set me down for a reason.
Yeah.
And he said it was time for me to become a man. And you see the type of man he's become.
Oh, he's a great young man. I love him. I mean, I'm so
He's always, yes, he's very smart. He's creative.
Okay.
So, but what I'm going to say, what he said about bridging the gap, that's what needs to be done.
Well, and that's what
to catch them before they hit the count.
Well, Katie, Wendy, that's what we want to let him tell that story, because I'm waiting on it. I understand he told me what was going on, so things change and shift. But whenever he gets the opportunity, we will have him on the show to do what he needs to do and say what he needs to say, because he got some very profound stuff that the world needs to hear. Like we talking about the Y Initiative earlier, and which he created. Right. And so we're going to keep that going. We're going to keep it in spirits up that. And before I get out of here, because I know I got to go, BST would just like to honor our newest members from Kansas, Benny Huck, from Cincinnati, Eric Boyer. I'm in Texas. I'm the founder. From Arizona, Dennis Jenkins. And from Chicago, the new executive director is Ben Mutu. And so I just want to give y'all a shout out. I thank you guys for first believing in me and following the movement and feeling the spirit of BST and the legacy. And then we wanted to move on and live on. And we ask that you continue to stand firm and do the right thing for the right reason. It's been fun, ladies and gentlemen, but I got to run. You have been tuned in with a conversation with Brother Raymond. I love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Until next time, we love you. Peace.
A conversation with Brother Raymond every Friday at 5 right here on Facebook Live.
Yeah. He said that. Oh, back there.